It's the way that I literally take days to prep for this video, writing down products I want on the list, taking products off, adding products on. So you guys know I take my Sephora savings event video very, very seriously. These are the recommendations that I have for you. I initially had like a dictionary long list of products to recommend for this event, but I did condense it. You won't be able to tell, but just know that it is condensed. And I'm going to link last year's Sephora recommendations video because there was actually a lot that I was going to add in from last year's or the last sale to this sale. But instead, just click on that. All of those products are great. The Milk Makeup Concealer, the Dower 28, mascara, lots of repeats that I think are still great for this event. But these are like the newer-ish products that I have been loving. So the sale starts on the 14th, so tomorrow. I will be shopping it. And you can get 20% off if you're Rouge, and if you're not, you have to wait a couple days. You can get 10% off. At this point, it's not the best sale in the world anymore, but I love a good Sephora sale nonetheless, so I can get a bunch of the stuff that I've been wanting all at once. So let's go ahead and get into my recommendations, starting off with probably the newest item that I've tried that I definitely want to recommend. It's from the brand Say, and I know their new foundation is really popular. I'm still testing that, but I don't need to test this anymore because I know I love it. It is the Glowy Super Gel. They sent me the shade Star Glow. This is one of the most amazing glowy bases I've ever tried. It's super thin, it's not oily. I really feel like it doesn't affect wear time because the consistency of it is really, really thin. So it gives a very dewy, hydrated, glowy look without weighing the face down or making products that you put over top last less. So this gives the most beautiful, healthy, super glow. It is not natural by any means, but it's an amazing consistency and it gives a really impactful glow without being glittery. I have been loving this, and like I said, it doesn't make you look super oily really quickly. It doesn't make the makeup look heavy. It just makes you look beautiful and glowy. So been loving this. Oh my goodness, the cap almost came off. I'm gonna go off topic here. This is not like my new background or anything. I ordered a bunch of stuff from IKEA and Amazon, and I'm gonna redo this whole situation. I don't have a rug in here right now, hence the echo. And so if I drop anything, it's absolutely fatal. Like, I purchased a new eyeshadow palette recently and it just dropped and shattered. So off topic. Let's get back into it. Foundations. I have two. So the first one, I really have still been loving this. This has passed the test of time because I've had this for a couple months and I'm still enjoying the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I use the shade AN. I have it on this side of my face. Now, you're not going to wear this foundation for something natural, okay? It's going to give you full coverage and it's not going to give a skin-like finish, really. It's going to look like makeup, but like, you look perfect kind of way. So I've been really enjoying this foundation. Full coverage, not natural, but very perfecting, and wears a really nice amount of time. There is like some shimmer reflex in here that are off-putting when the light hits it, but it doesn't look like that on the face. I think it's a really beautiful foundation, and a lot of foundations have launched, and I think all of them have been good, but not many have been great or game-changing. This one is one of the greats. And then I also this is a really, really pricey item, and I always recommend for the sale that the best items to pick up are the expensive brands that hardly ever have sales. So that's going to be Tom Ford. Now, you can get Tom Ford at a discount at like the cosmetic company store, but generally speaking, their permanent line, Tom Ford doesn't go on sale. So I've been loving the Traceless foundation stick. I have mine in the shade 4.5 Ivory. I mean, I've used this for years. Mine expired, and then I recently picked up another one, and I'm just like, it's worth full price. So if you can get it for a discount, fantastic. It's such an easy to blend out foundation stick. It literally looks like skin, but better. As it wears, it looks even more and more like skin, even more healthy. It doesn't break down in an unflattering way. I actually really like to wear this in the summer, even without powder. I think it looks amazing. So it's one of the most expensive foundations in my collection, but it's so worth it. This is a recycled mention because I've definitely mentioned this in other Sephora recommendations videos in the past, but it's come back to the light for me recently, and you should pick this up. It is awesome. It is better than all of the new foundations that have been launching recently. Concealer, I have two. Now this has definitely weaseled its way into my regular routine. Not testing new makeup routine, but like if I'm doing my makeup without having to think about what I'm wearing, I'm reaching for the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealers. I love this. They last a long time. They give full coverage. They look really great for spot concealing or even all over as foundation. It's just a nice fuller coverage concealer that doesn't look too thick, that wears really well. It's gonna make whatever I put underneath it look flawless. So I mean, I love this concealer. I've talked too much about it. I can't remember if I put it in the last savings recommendations. I don't think it was launched yet. That's why I put it in this video, but one of my favorite concealers that have launched in the last like couple of years. I haven't been in love with too many concealers. It's been this, the Milk Makeup one, and then this one that I'm mentioning right now from Tom Ford. There's been a couple others, but in terms of Sephora, there hasn't been many. But this is another really expensive one on that Tom Ford rant again, where it's a lot of money, so get the discount when you can. This is the Traceless Soft Matte Concealer. Now this is more on the natural side, but it is very much like the foundation stick where you don't need to set it. It looks like skin. It makes you look better. It doesn't give super full coverage, but it's great for every day running out the door, looking a little better. I will wear this when I really am not feeling wearing too much makeup, but I want to look a little bit more put together. I'll just put this on any redness, on my under eyes, blend it out, maybe a little bit of powder and blush or something, and I look better than I did before. And it's such a natural finish that you don't even need foundation or anything. It blends into the skin and looks natural. So love this, and it's very expensive. It's $60. And I mean, I do have a brain. $60 for a concealer is not worth it, but like, if you want to get in on it, that was a good time. I also do have a powder foundation. I don't know why I didn't put that with my other foundations, but this is from Makeup Forever. So they reformulated their HD Skin Matte Velvet Powder Foundations, and for years, their older formulation of this has been my favorite. And they redid the packaging, which I thought was really great, but like, I was a little nervous because I was like, how can this stop my favorite powder foundation? And it did. I actually ended up doing a couple days wear tests in like short form, and the new formulation looks smoother on my face. So you can get full coverage with powder foundation. Don't sleep on powder foundation if you've been. It looks really, really natural as your oils come through, especially if you live in a humid climate. If it is summertime, this is a great powder foundation. You can build the coverage. You can get natural coverage. It's really quick to apply as well. And I think it looks like a normal liquid foundation after a couple hours of wear. Such a beautiful formula, looks nice and smooth and healthy on the skin, and just makes you look nice and put together. And then Tower 28 also launched the Sculptino. It's like a contour bronzer hybrid. It doesn't have the shimmers like their older or other formulation. They sent me the shade Getty. So beautiful. This is everything and more. I did enjoy the bronzer formulation, which had the glimmers, but I didn't like the glimmers. I felt like if you had like some fine lineage or wrinkles, it would emphasize that. So this one doesn't, because it's more of a flat finish. There's no shimmers embedded in here, and I'm really happy that they came out with this. And Tower 28 is one of the more affordable brands at Sephora, so you can get it for even more affordable. So I think that this is a really great addition to their line. And then Cream Blush. Charlotte Tilbury is a great brand to pick up during the Sephora event because they hardly ever have sales. So I know they had one recently, but that was like the first time in years. But this is the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand. I know the cream makeup is so trendy now, and I don't even love cream makeup. I love a cream bronzer, but other than that, I'm a powder blush, powder highlight kind of girl. I really, really, really love these matte beauty blush wands. I think they are so easy to blend out. They last a long time, and the colors that they have are amazing. So yeah, Charlotte Tilbury is really great because it's very expensive and hardly ever has sales. So this is one of the few opportunities you have to be able to pick these up for a percentage off. And I really like the formula of these. They are matte, but they kind of go with whatever formula you have underneath. So if you have a glowier foundation, this isn't going to take the glow away from the foundation kind of thing, you know, but if you have a matte foundation, it will continue to stay matte. Just a really malleable and versatile formulation. I have a setting powder that I would then went into, and this little, it's like a thin mint. I call it a potato chip powder. This packaging is so thin, but I love the product that's inside. This is from Nars. It's the Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. I have mine in the shade Cove, and I feel like this is just the perfect setting powder. It does mattify, it does blur, but it also isn't too heavy on the skin. I just think it makes my makeup look better, last longer. It's one of my favorite powders that are in pressed form typically. I find that I prefer a loose setting powder, but I've been really into this pressed setting powder. It feels feather light while still doing the job of a heavier duty powder. So I just think it looks really beautiful and smooth on the skin, and it sets the makeup and makes you look better. Pat McGrath I don't normally mention in my Sephora recommendations videos because Pat McGrath normally has bigger sales on her website, but she did just launch the new bronzers and they are available on the Sephora website. So since these are new, these are not going to go on sale right away on the Pat McGrath website. So if you want to try this, definitely try it during the Sephora sale. I have a whole review that I posted recently. Today I have on Bronze Dawn. I think though my favorite is Nude Honey. It's very close to Marc Jacobs Fantastic. It's a really great formula. I'm not going to go out and say, you know, it's one of the best bronzers I've ever tried. A bronzer is a bronzer. It's a good bronzer. It's on the very good bronzer list. I have a lot of bronzers though, so you know. But anyways, if you want to try this, it is a really beautiful formula. I absolutely do approve, and now's a good time to pick it up if you want. I think what I like about this formula is longevity, and it is very impactful on the face. Not obnoxious or dirty like, but whenever I put on these bronzers, I look in the mirror and I'm just like, I look good. So love those bronzers, love the shades that she launched. And then I did pick up to feature the Rephr Beauty highlighters, and again, Rephr Beauty, kind of one of the more affordable brands at Sephora, but they did the dang thing with these highlighters. And I know when these launched, it was like between this and the Charlotte Tilbury. I do love the Charlotte Tilbury, but I do think overall, I just recommend these more. These are really beautiful on the skin. I used as little as I could of Enlighten today because it is a brighter shade, but it gives a really smooth glazed look on the cheek. It's more beamy than the Charlotte Tilbury. I think Charlotte Tilbury is better for more mature skin, but all around, you've got to try these silky smooth Rephr Beauty highlights. They're so good. And as a makeup lover, as an eyeshadow palette lover, it is disappointing to me that complexion is really what is in. That's why I have so many complexion products, because that's the new and exciting stuff coming out. So I only have one eyeshadow palette. There really haven't been any amazing, exciting, extraordinary palettes launching. But now is a good time to pick up a staple of mine from Makeup by Mario. This is the Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. Again, Makeup by Mario, not a brand that really goes on sale. And if you like neutral tones, this is just a beautiful palette. You can't get a ton of different looks with this, but I love every look that I do get because I do like the neutral kind of looks. And so that is what I'm wearing today. It's very easy to use. It's very luxurious quality, really pretty and simple to get an eye look. So today's look, super simple. I started off with this matte shade just to set underneath my brow bone. And speaking of brows, I'm not featuring this, but I feel the need to verbally mention my favorite eyebrow gel from Too Faced, the Fluff and Hold. Best eyebrow gel ever. Didn't make the cut on the list because I've talked about it so much, but picked that up too. Anyways, so I started with this, and then I went in with this shade right here as my transition color. Just blends out so soft and smooth and beautifully. And then I deepened everything up. I created like a halo eye, so I put this on the inner and outer corner of the eye, blended like butter, did the job by itself. And then I finished off with this really pretty gleamy shade on the center of the eyelid, and it just created the most amazing look. So that is a more on the pricey side palette, making it a really good time to pick up during this event. Onward we go. The last product I have for eyes. Feels so wrong to only have a couple eye products, but the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Mascara, whew, this is a good one. And you can get a lot of good ones from the drugstore, but this really does make my lashes like hella thick. I'm not gonna lie, I really love this. I have not been using my lash serum recently, so my lashes are slowly shrinking. I need to get back on that. It's been packed away since I moved. And this makes my lashes pretty thick given what I'm working with. So this is one of my new favorite mascaras that have launched. I also really like, I keep going off topic, this e.l.f. one's really good too, but love this one because of the thickness that it gives. It can smudge, so like if I fall asleep, I will have a little smudgies because my lashes point downwards, but if I'm like awake all day, then it doesn't smudge, so I have to be careful about the transfer. But for the most part, it's a really, really great mascara. I've been loving it. And then the last category is lips. I have two formulations. I didn't think this would ever make the Sephora cut, but I've been using it nonstop. It's kind of like my favorite everyday lip right now from Lawless. These are their tinted lip balms. They're super comfortable. They are hydrating and they just add that little wash of color to make you look alive. They're really great over lip liner. So if you have a lip liner that you love the color of, these are really great just to hydrate that lip liner underneath, but not really disrupt too much of the color that's going on underneath. So I have a whole slew of colors that I've been loving. I think they're really pretty, really comfortable, a great formula. Another tinted lip balm that I like is Tower 28. If maybe you want to look into that one, I like that one as well. But I think the Lawless has better longevity than the Tower 28 in the lighter colors. The Tower 28 tinted lip balms, darker colors, have better longevity. And then the last makeup item that I have to talk about, the Clarins lip oils. Not a new product, but I brought these as one of the few lip products when I went to visit my parents for a week, and I have fallen in love with this formulation. So the shade Potato is my favorite to look stained, but also super duper glassy and wet and juicy, and that's what makes this formula very special. It makes my lips look so smooth and it's extremely reflective, so it gives that super glassy look. So Potato is my favorite. I made a whole short on it if you want to see that instant before and after. I used Cherry today. Cherry has a little bit more pigment, but just look how hydrating it is. And it's so reflective. My new favorite lip oil formulation. I also have this shade Honey with Me, which is a little bit more clear. But yeah, these are my new favorite lip oils. You definitely need to try if you really like that reflective, super smooth lip look. And then I have a couple items that are not makeup, but listen, these are great. So for nails, I've been turned into a press-on nail person, okay? And one of the brands I recently experimented with was Glamnetic. And so far, Glamnetic has my favorite quality of press-on nails because they're nice and thick. And I've tried Kiss, Latte London, and Glamnetic. I have a Kiss pair on right now, but don't look too close. I had to shape them and I did a bad job. But Glamnetic is at Sephora, and these are the longest lasting nails as well for me because they are so thick. So definitely try press-ons if you haven't. If you don't like going to the nail salon / don't want to spend the money, Glamnetic is on the more expensive side of press-on nails, but you can definitely tell in the quality it's worth it. So they have a few more natural nail styles, but definitely look into it. It's a great brand to experiment with. And I have very, very, very small nail beds, so a lot of the traditional packs I have to physically shape down myself. With Glamnetic, I think like the pinky, you know, I have to shape down a little bit. But for the most part, they have a lot of sizes that cater to my nails as well, which I really love. And then for hair, I mean, I've tried a lot of different brands lately that I really love, but I've been going back to Vegamore. My dry scalp, right? I cured it. I used a couple of different brands. It came back. So right now I'm using the Vegamore Grow Scalp Detoxifying Serum because this one does work. I have past experience that this one does work. And then I also really like the Grow Revitalizing Shampoo and Conditioner as well. It smells so yummy too. And I really think that helps me with my dry scalp, and it helps with the growth and regrowth of hair. So yeah, I love, love Vegamore. So it's a good time to pick up those items. And then lastly, perfume. This was actually a pickup from a previous Sephora sale event, and I don't know, it's the only perfume I've been using lately, and I've had some nice ones. I've also used some from Scentbird that I've gotten, but this one's my favorite, the Kaoli Vanilla 28. If you like the cupcakey, gourmand, sweet candy smelling perfumes, you will like this one. I always love a good vanilla, and I don't know, is it my all-time favorite perfume? No, it's not number one, but it's top like 3 or 4. Just a really, really nice one. So I'm looking into some other sweet, delicious perfumes for the sale. I'm gonna go into the store when the sale starts. So my perfume buffs. Teenage Scent Palette, fruity, sweet, candy-like, that kind of scent palette. Let me know what I need to smell. But I love the Kaoli Vanilla 28, and that's one of my favorite ones that I recommend to pick up during the sale. Okay, anyways, there we have it, you guys. I feel like I kept it shorter than normal. Okay, I did try to condense it because I've done so many in the past, but those are my current favorites to recommend for this Sephora savings event. I will have a couple hauls coming. I normally can't just do one, so there will be a couple hauls. Gotta do the online shopping, gotta do the in-person, because they're both 2 very different experiences, and I can't wait to just have a bunch of new makeup to test and try and review for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it and you found this helpful. I will have all of the links to shop the Sephora savings event down below, and the dates as well, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.